Today is April 1st, 2020. My name is Charles Suter, and the next 3 minutes I'll be presenting the subject of decision making. My main message here is that when you make choices, you want to look for choices that are fun and good for you. To help explain this concept, I'm using this matrix here developed by Christine Corral. Very interesting concept. But before I get into that, I want to give you some general background about decision making. Decision making can be simplified if you know your values well, and you can draw upon them as guidance for making decisions. Your decisions should be value driven. That's why you have values, to help guide your decisions. Most common everyday decisions, however, can be made relatively quickly without considerable deliberation if you apply some simple decision rules presented herein. Now, these decision rules are presented as if-then propositions. In other words, when the condition is true, then the decision is pre-made, just follow it. Now, most decisions tend to have two elements, inputs and outputs. Now, in this matrix here, the two inputs are either the choice that you're making is fun or it's not fun. I realize that there's really a continuum here, but for purpose of illustration, I've divided the decision space of inputs to either fun or not fun. The same can be good for outcomes. The outcomes are either good for you or not good for you, recognizing again that there is a continuum between the two. This divides the decision space into four quadrants. If in fact the decision you're about to make is fun and is good for you, then the if-then proposition is that yes, you should very definitely go ahead and make that decision. However, if the activity is fun and it's not good for you, then don't do it. There's a lot of decisions that fall into this category. It may be fun to overeat, to smoke, to drink, a lot of unhealthy, sinful habits. Basically, the good decision rule is don't do it. Now, the not fun quadrants. If it's not fun, but it's good for you, then you probably should do it anyway. This is like exercise, mowing your lawns, doing your chores, doing your work, doing the right things. They may not always be fun, but they're good for you. Do it anyway. Now, here is another easy decision space. If something is not fun, it is not good for you, why would you ever consider doing it? This is what I call the hell no quadrant. Now, these two quadrants, yes and no, are pretty self-explanatory. However, the interjacent quadrants here, where there is some positives and some negatives, you have to spend maybe a little bit more time. You may have to consider, well, how much fun is it? How much not good is it for you? Etc. down here. How much not fun is it? And how much good is it for you? There may be conditions within these squares where, for example, the real outcome lies up here, but it's a lot of fun, and it's not so good for you, but it's not so bad for you either. You may choose to ignore the general rule and do it anyway. But anyway, this quadrant here will help you make decisions fairly quickly. So, remember, make choices that are fun and good for you. Don't make choices that are not fun and not good for you. That's all for now. Remember to stay positive. You'll be happier, healthier, and live longer.